we're getting there. And we are live from Tiger Gymnasium in Willard High School in Willard, Missouri. It's a Willard Basketball Championship. The Eagles taking on the Bentonville Wildcats from Arkansas. Bentonville coming to this game 2-4. The Eagles 2-0. Bentonville starting out the season 0-3, catching 2 wins here against a highly praised Glendale team. And they went on to win the consolation bracket as they passed through Bolivar with ease in the, I guess it would be the consolation semifinal. And I believe they played Belton in the consolation championship. They did and won that. Third place game was between Willard and Harrison, and let's just say that was a very one-sided affair between the two teams. I was really shocked with how bad Harrison played.
Yeah, and especially how they played against the Eagles. They started off with a great game, definitely lost track late in the second half, but they had a really good first half of basketball against the Eagles. It was close for the first half, and then just everything fell apart for them. So to see how they came out against Willard and the way they played was kind of surprising.
And I forgot to mention, I'm Brady Retone alongside my partner Ryan Swanson. But now Bentonville, on the other hand, had a very, very dominant semifinal win against Willard, and that was 73-45 as they just cruised past him with ease. It was kind of a close game at first, and then towards the end, it was all Wildcats.
Yes, it was. And one thing with this,
my bad, Tigers.
Wrong cat.
Wrong cat.
One thing with this Tigers team is the fact that, I mean, they started the season off 0-4. Not a great start, but they've just hit their stride in this tournament. 2 wins, and now looking to get one over one of the better teams in Missouri, coming with this Bentonville team coming out of Arkansas. Another Missouri versus Arkansas matchup, like last night with the Eagles playing Harrison. It's going to be a good matchup. I'm excited for this one. The Eagles looking to go, wouldn't be a three-peat of the Willard tournament?
Two-peat.
Two-peat, okay.
This is their second year playing in it.
For some reason, I thought we played in it 2 years ago.
No, this is our first. So they just passed the rule that you can play in 4 tournaments. That was last year, as the Eagles won all 4 tournaments. But it used to be where we only played 3, and it used to be NIT, Blue and Gold, and then that year it was the TOC. Years before, it was the RVS Classic. Speaking of the RVS Classic, we saw 2 new COC teams who will arrive in the Central Ozark Conference next year, in Parkview and Kickapoo, going into 4 overtimes. And we saw the game before why we're starting real late. It's 9:08 right now. The reason we're starting real late was Rockbridge and Kickapoo. So both teams really, both Kickapoo teams going into overtime and championships. Of course, it was Kickapoo coming out on top in both of them, as Bentonville did tally on a loss against Parkview earlier in the season, as Parkview held them to only 34 points. It was 44-34. That's a very impressive outing. Coach Simpson over there with the Vikings has done a great job.
Yes, he has. And when the Eagles eventually meet the Vikings in Eagle Fieldhouse, that's going to be a very, very tough game.
At Parkview this year. It was at Eagle Fieldhouse last year.
If I thought my memory served correctly, they're building a new gym so they don't have a place to play in.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's why the RVS Classic was at Kickapoo this year. See, now this is all making sense because RVS Classics usually...
Yeah, I got a buddy that I work with who goes to Parkview. The reason I know that. Thanks, Isaiah. But so we'll be at home again back-to-back years, and then we'll play Kickapoo on the road. That's going to be on a Wednesday night. I think the 13th or the 18th, one of those 2 dates. It might be the 18th, but
they start off with a bang, and then the team we play after Kickapoo, I believe Kickapoo's the 13th, and then the 19th is the Central Bulldogs, and that's a team everybody's kind of looking at. That's, my opinion, an OC frontrunner for the championship, a district championship winner in Class 6. I believe we're Class 6 District 5 this year in basketball. But that's Central, as they knocked down 14 three-pointers in their dominating win against the defending state champions of the Falcons from Staley. So that was 80-44, and Coach Epps has done wonders with this team.
Yes, he has, and I remember going in last year to Central, going to the Pit. That was, just real clear, the Pit is my favorite gym in the whole CFC. I know it probably sucks to play in,
Oh,
But from an
know it's
atmosphere
awful.
standpoint, it is absolutely awesome.
Me and Parker Mann and Kale Harris, so guys, Nixa Live, went to watch the Link game, and that atmosphere there, we luckily saw some friends in line and got to cut forward because I don't think we would have made it. We got there about 6:15. Tip-off was at 7, and it was wrapped around the building. And when we got in, it was already full. We luckily had some buddies also there inside the stadium who saved us some seats, and it was a great time. I mean, the atmosphere was crazy. You got to watch one of the top basketball teams in the nation play. Now, do I think Link's the basketball team they were last year who won the national championship? No. But do I think they're definitely going to compete for a national championship this year? Yes. And the way Coach Epps had those boys together and rallied up to play was great. I mean, they started off the game quick, and then it kind of fell downhill, which it's going to fall downhill with Link. Of course it will be. But
I mean, as a player, that's got to be absolutely amazing. How many times do you get to play a top-ranked team in the country?
Second in the nation.
Second in the nation. You don't get
behind Montverde.
Very few teams actually get the chance to do that. So
now,
I'd be fired up as a player if I was able to play against a team like that.
Now let's talk about the Eagles a little bit. Let's get away from all these other teams who we're talking about who are coming to join the COC, who's going to make a freaking super conference. The COC's the SEC of high school. I mean, that's my opinion personally.
Also, like the Big 10, now the Big 18. We just got teams from all over the place now.
Yeah. The Eagles come out with a very good win last night against a really good Harrison team. And, oh my gosh, I'm struggling to get words out.
You're good, man.
Right now. Josh Peters had a fire under him last night. 22 points. I mean, taking it to the basket left and right, finishing well. And then someone who is starting to get hot is Garrett Hines, his partner in crime.
Yeah, one thing that was really awesome to see from Josh's game is that rarely any of his points came from the three-point line. He was doing all of his scoring from the inside. Josh talked about this whole season as being the elite three-point shooter on the starting five. But Garrett put 9 points up, or he put up, I think, 12, actually, excuse me. He got over 10, but I think 4 made threes from last night. So Garrett had a great night from the three-point line. This team looked really good. They were cleaning up the boards all night, and they were controlling the pace of the game, which is what you want to do, especially when you're a team that plays fast-paced. If you're able to get the boards, you can control and play at the pace you want to go. I'm excited to watch these two teams play.
And I think tonight for the Eagles is going to be, I said last night I thought it was going to be the first real test, but I think this high-powered Bentonville Tigers team who plays in a really strong conference down south is going to be the true test. And I think this is a great game to get this long stretch of basketball they're going to be playing. I mean, Liberty North, Kickapoo, Central. You have a few days off for Christmas break, and then you go right into the blue and gold. And then little do you know, you have conference play, and oh my gosh, the NIT's here. And it's a very fast schedule. So I think this Willard tournaments has always been a great warm-up. I really thought that last year, and we got to see a great championship game between Nixa and Bolivar. Now we get to see a great one against the Eagles and the Tigers.
And I mean, you say warm-up like it's just like something to brush over. This is a great tournament. There's been a lot of great games in this tournament. And I was unfortunately unable to come here last year, but I'm glad I was able to make the 30-minute drive for the 3 days to get up here to Willard, and I'm excited to watch this game.
Yeah, you know, the 30-minute drive, it's not bad at all.
No, it's not that bad. Although the amount of roundabouts I run into coming up here is absolutely insane. I mean, I don't know what it is with Willard and their freaking roundabouts.
It's 3 roundabouts in a row. I mean, it's crazy. Well, we got a minute 40 left, and we're going to send it down to the PA announcer for starting lineups and national anthem. We'll be back after this short break, brought to you by Central Gas and Propane.
Yeah, he did. I called him. He's like, yeah, I probably should have done that. Yeah, you probably should have done that. I texted 2 or 3 of the boys and said, this is ridiculous. Stop. And they're like, no, we're in their head. I'm like, I'm done dealing with you all. You guys, and then they're like, what did you say to our defense last night? I said, it was absolutely pitiful. Absolutely awful. And they were shocked that I was like, oh, ridiculous. It is you the whole time. Because it was about my grade. Yeah, I knew every single thing. Everything I went over to him. That was the problem. Well, and then I single pin. And that's what it was. It's like the first one that does it. Kicked out. Yeah.
And we are back in Willard for the, sorry about, oh my gosh, we're having some technical difficulties right now. Someone turned down my mic, and that might have been our technical producer, Jordan Burns, without telling me. So we are back for the tip-off. It'll be Willem and Cantwell, and for the first time all year, the 6'8", 300-pound five-stars are going to lose the tip-off.
Well, it looks like Cantwell's got a match down there with Elijah Willem. Both of them look to be the same height.
And three-pointer from Williams will go. And the Tigers are the first on the board. Now Kemp's pushing it fast, finds Hines the corner, he pump fakes. Back out McKnight. Here's Peters in the corner. Kemp for three. His three-pointer will go. Devin Kemp.
After starting to struggle in the first half last game, getting him going early from the three-point line, I love it to start this game for the Eagles.
Pass there. Here's a Kapar. Willem. Pull-up jumper from Duda. Actually, no. Oh, my gosh. The ref went in my way. I thought it was a jumper. But it's actually me handed it back off. Now Willem. Pass is taken away there by Kemp. He's moving fast up court. Here's Peters. Back Kemp. His three-pointer will go. Devin Kemp off to 2 3-pointers. And the Eagles lead 6-3. Here's Javen Williams. Now Willem. Duda driving baseline, no good. Rebound Cantwell. Kemp to bring it up, now to Hines. He pulls a trigger on a three-pointer and it will go. 3 3-pointers in a row for the Eagles, and they are off to a hot start.
And this is the Eagles team we expected to see from the start of this tournament. A team that's knocking down three-pointers left and right, and first 3 shots from the three-point line knocked down. Great start.
Duda guarded tightly by McKnight. He hands it off Williams. Willem coming out the screen. Durman, no good. Soaring through the air is Duda, and he'll put it up for 2. Peters coming out the screen. Kicks it inside. Cantwell on Willem. Back out Hines. Kemp Kemp driving through, dishes it back off. Cantwell loses control of the basketball. He's diving on the ground for it. Gets it to Kemp. Kemp, free throw line, jumper won't go in. Fighting for the rebound. McKnight, it's going to go to the Tigers. So one thing I want to mention there is the way Cantwell tried to put his body into Willem, and Willem just didn't move. I mean, you don't really see that often. Willem just didn't budge.
Yeah, there is not a lot of times where Cantwell's matched in strength and in size, especially on the basketball court.
And you're seeing it today.
And Willem, the junior, going against Cantwell, the sophomore. So it'll be interesting to see how that matchup goes throughout the night. Big three-pointer. Back iron. Ball stolen.
And here is Durham, and he lays it off.
I like this from Blanton, slowing down the pace, letting Kemp run the offense.
9-7's your score. We're going to see Meltebarger go to the scores table. Peters hands it off. Hines. Hines to Cantwell at the top of the key. Cantwell over Peters. Pump fake to McKnight. Here's Kemp. Kemp coming off the screen. Hines in the corner at McKnight. McKnight back to Peters. Peters three-pointer. And they're going to call a traveling violation. It's the 3 went in.
Would have been a big-time three. And you can see at the Bentonville bench right now, their head coach right now, is every time a guy like Garrett or Josh gets the ball, he's screaming, hands up, hands up. He does not want them getting a shot off from three-point land. Now, obviously, hasn't been going well for start because quick three-pointers from the Eagles. But that's what you're going to have to do if you want to shut that down. You need to hand it in an Eagles' face at all times.
Javen Williams hands it off. And it's taken away there by McKnight. He's diving on the ground, fighting for it. Now Kemp's on top. It's going to be a jump ball. Or actually a timeout. It's going to be called first. I don't know how he was able to call a timeout. And Brock Blanton is in the ear of the referee right now because he didn't have possession of the ball. Both of them were fighting for it. There should have been no timeout given out.
I agree with you on that one. But Owen Durman, after that little shaking up, he kind of just stood there for a minute with a little bit of pain on his face, but looks to be all right. 9-7. This game is starting to get aggressive and quick. I love it.
You got to love hard-nosed basketball.
Yeah, fast-paced, hard-nosed basketball. It's the best type of basketball to watch, in my personal opinion.
Totally agree. And Meltebarger's going to get his first appearance as he was the leading scorer in night number 1 and played more of a defensive role in night number 2 against the Goblins. I'm going to like to see how this matchup pairs between him and Willem, as Willem is I believe probably 6'8", also 280 pounds. Akbar kicks it over Williams. Now Willem inside, guarded by Meltebarger. He lays it up, and it will go in, and one.
Yeah, you got to be ready for help defense when you take Cantwell out. No one really to match the size of Willem. You're going to have to find a way to get some help defense. I mean, yeah, you have to collapse, but you're going to have to find a way to tip the ball or something. You cannot let him dominate in the paint all night. One thing that's going to help on the offense, though, was the fact that when Cantwell had the ball, he didn't guard him. He just let him sit there at the top of the key, so now you can space the floor a little bit better now that Meltebarger's in, who can be a little bit more of a shooting threat.
Here's Kemp. Now near wing, top of the key. In the corner, three-pointer from Meltebarger, no good. A foul's going to be called. I believe that's going to be, let's see what number. Did you see what number he put up there? I believe it was Cameron Akbar. And checking into the game will be Kevon Flint. Out comes Garrett Hines as the Eagles look as a more of a faster lineup. Coming out the screen, Flint hesitates on the three-pointer, gets to Peters. In the corner, Flint, he pulls the trigger on the three-pointer, no good. Durman now hopping through the lane, shots blocked off a big toe down there on the hoop. Hands not fast enough on that one, and no, he's made some great plays, but that one just caught him a little off guard.
Hey, camera's safe. That's all. That's all.
Toe, I hope you're okay down there. Kent now Flint coming off the screen, Meltebarger. Guarded by Willem. Deep three-pointer, Devin Kemp, no good. Rebound, McKnight, he puts up blocked by a Kabar, and he's going to go to line 2, shoot 2, and I don't really know.
He called a push. I mean, that was all ball, but he called a push, not a slap on the hand there. So I don't really, I mean, I can see it a little bit, but I don't really think that was a push. I think the Eagles got a little bit lucky on that foul call. Do you think that was a foul, Brad?
I don't know. I think it looked like all ball, but, you know.
Well, because he called push. He didn't.
I don't know. McKnight drills the first one. He gets his own rebound, puts it up, shots blocked again. He's going to be out on. Ooh. Going to stay. It's going to the Wildcats, and the look of disgust on Blanton's face, and change the call over, but what a play by McKnight. Missing his own shot, soaring through the air, grabbing the rebound, and somehow almost converting on it.
And I mean, when you always have to have a guy that guards the shooter. When there's no communication like that on the line, it allows plays for that to happen. Now the Eagles get a free possession out of it.
Here's Kemp. As he backs up. As he sets up the Eagles offense. Kemp to Meltebarger. Now to Kevon Flint. Over Josh Peters. Peters driving through the lane. He lays it off the glass. For an easy 2, and the Eagles lead by 3. It's 12-9 now with 2:47 left in quarter number 1. Willem posted up on McKnight. McKnight jumps in the air, and Willem makes him miss, and he puts it up for 2.
Yeah, a lot of the offensive production from Willem is going to happen.
Meltebarger for 3, no good. Kept fighting for the rebound.
A lot of the offensive production tonight from Willem is going to happen when Cantwell isn't on the court, because there's no one else the Eagles have to match his size down low, and he's so far been in the game all quarter. I don't think the Tigers have had a change in guys the whole game so far.
Trap is working well, as Williams there has to throw that out of bounds. And foul's going to be called on Flint as Dudo is trying to get up court. And out comes the senior Kemp. In comes the sophomore Randy Flint. .12-11 is your score, 2:14.
It'll be interesting to see, with Peters being the only senior out there, how this younger 5 is going to handle this Bentonville offense, which is comprised, this team is comprised of only upperclassmen.
Here's Williams, hands it off Duda. Makai Duda driving through the lane. Javen Williams loses control of basketball, stripped there by Randy Flint. 3-on-2 for the Eagles, but Flint's going to pull it up. Looks inside McKnight. McKnight pull-up jumper will go in.
That was a great bounce pass inside the lane to find McKnight down low. Surprised Willem didn't try and contest that, but McKnight's not going to complain about it as the Eagles go up 3.
That's going to be a travel on Javen Williams as he switched his pivot foot there, and you can't do that.
No, that's going to get called every time. He was a little confused there, but I don't think he even realized he picked up his pivot foot right there.
He was a little confused at first, as we're going to see Harry Ware check in, the junior, to guard McKnight. Three-pointer from Flint, no good. Rebound by Meltebarger, and he's going to call traveling.
That's the right call.
Kind of hopped through there after he picked up his dribble.
There was a huge outroar from the crowd, but Blansett didn't even look like he was going to say an extra word about it. That was the right call.
We see a little limp here from Javen Williams as he brings the ball up the court. Here's Harry Ware. Guarded tightly by Kevon Flint. Ware looks inside. Shot blocked there by Cantwell, fighting for the rebound is Flint. Foul's going to be called there on Willem.
And with how this game's going, expect more minutes from usual for Jackson Cantwell, because they're going to have a presence down low to match Willem when he's on the court. So if I'm Blantz, I'm putting Cantwell on the floor every time Willem comes out on the floor.
Randy Flint now gets it to his older brother, Kevon Flint. Looks inside Cantwell. Cantwell fading away, no good. Williams to push it up court. Looks inside, Duda. It's Flint playing some tight defense there, but Williams hopping through the lane. Reverse lane, no good. Rebound, Cantwell.
I was going to say, I'm expecting them to hold it with 30 seconds left.
The Eagles have their fair share of buzzer beaters throughout the years. 14-11, and it's going to be Peters to Meltebarger. Now, far wing, Flint hands it back off Peters with 10 seconds to play.
So every eye on this Bentonville Tigers team is looking towards Josh Peters to take this shot.
Peters now spinning through the lane, 15-footer, no good. As time expires, the Eagles lead 14-11 after one.
That was a great first quarter of basketball. It was competitive. A lot of good opportunities from both teams, a couple of missed ones. Both teams look good offensively and defensively to start, and if this game continues like that first quarter did, we're going to be in for a really good basketball game tonight.
We'll be back after this short break, brought to you by Central Gas and Propane. (14-11) here in quarter number 2, and we just find out that Coach Richard Rippey has gotten a warning, and I don't know if he has been sent to his bench. He's not. So he's still able to stay, but a warning has been given out, so I'm guessing next time he's making some noise out there, technical will be coming. Kemp, the ball handler. Hands it off. Here's Hines. Hines coming off of Peter's screen, now to Randy Flint. Randy looking inside. Cantwell. Back to Kemp. Here's Flint. See, it's stripped there, but a foul's going to be called.
And one thing this Bentonville defense has to be ready for is that they're running a man defense to start this game. This Eagles team, a team that already runs a lot of screens to get guys open, off ball and on ball. If they're going to be running this man, they have to be ready to switch off guys as much as possible.
Flint gets where to jump, and he'll hit a fadeaway J for 2.
And if they are going to be doing that with how many screens the Eagles run, the Eagles got to be looking for those mismatches, maybe down low or up at the top of the key to try and generate some offense.
Here's Ware, gets it to Williams, a deep three-pointer. Javen Williams for 3. Now Peters to Flint. Flint back to Peters. Driving baseline, Hines. Gets to Kemp. Traveling violation on Kemp, and he's took one too many steps there.
Akbar is going to check in for the Tigers. We'll see if this Eagles stick with this 2-3 that they've been running. Well, now they're still going to be running it, but they're going to have Flint coming out in a press.
Akbar hesitates there. There's Willem for 3. No good. This big man thought he had an opportunity there as it's off the side of the hoop. Here's Peters, jab step, back out. Dishes it off, Kemp. Splancet's calling the offense for the Eagles. Inside Cantwell, jab step, spin move off the glass, no good. Willem with the rebound. Poked free there by Kemp. Williams hopping through, floater, no good. Rebound, Cantwell. Kemp to push it up court. He's looking to go coast to coast, and he gets tripped up there by Javen Williams, and I believe Williams' second foul. .5:55 left in the second. So we're going to see sub come in for the Tigers. I believe it is number 25, Miles Knott, and that one does not go in from Cantwell, and he's showing some frustration on the court.
I think that might have been tipped. I'm not too sure, but it looked like that ball was tipped going up.
Akbar hopping through the lane, runs into the body of Cantwell off the glass, and it rolls in for two, all tied up now at 16.
Great mid-range shot, but notice how many Eagles collapsed into the paint the second the guy drove in. If they want to attack this 2-3.
Hopping through the lane is Flint. He can't finish. Willem with the rebound.
If the Tigers want to attack this 2-3, I'd say cut inside, then try and swing it out. You got some shooters on this team, and with how close of a game this is, a big three can swing the momentum in the right direction.
Derman in the corner for three. Akbar, no good. Rebound there, Kemp. In the corner, Hines. Traveling violations going to be called, and McKnight's going to check in for Jackson Cantwell.
Eagles got to be ready for some help defense down low with Willem still on the floor.
Akbar in the corner, Durham for three, and Durman drills that one to give Bentonville a three-point lead.
From what I saw, Durman is the best shooter on this team, hitting threes from the logo.
Last night we noticed that a lot. He was drilling threes left and right. Hopping through the lane, Kemp no good as he misses that one.
You gotta be careful of leaving Durman open anywhere outside the arc.
Akbar, cross court, pass is picked off, but it'll be tipped out of bounds there by Peters. So he looked like a safety there, jumping the pass.
And with the athletic ability Josh Peters has, if he got a hold of that, we might have had a highlight reel on the other end. If he broke off just a split second sooner.
4:06. Knott gets it off. Duda, Durman. Back to Knott. Looks inside. Duda puts a body into McKnight, and the foul's going to be called.
Yeah, notice how different the game is played right on defense when Cantwell isn't on the floor. Bentonville's getting way more chances inside, as they are a team that outsizes the Nixa Eagles down low. So it's safe to say it's going to be a long night for Jackson Cantwell because he's going to be getting a lot of minutes. Currently has a, looks like to be an ice pack over his right knee.
Being a guy that size, think about the toll your knees take.
Especially also being a lineman.
That's why they wear those knee braces throughout the game, but think about the toll his knees take, especially playing basketball. Jumping up and down with that much weight.
Can't be fun.
Here's Kemp, finds Flint. Flint hopping through the lane. He goes soaring, and rough fall there. Akbar one more time, Willem. Willem to Duda. Durham in the corner. He fires, no good. Flint fighting for the rebound. And now Kevon Flint pushing it down court. Peters, top of the key, three-pointer will go.
Big three-pointer for Josh Peters. I think he probably should have done a catch and shoot, but step back is pretty, so I'm not going to complain.
Here's Durham. Knott inside Duda. His jumper no good. Snags it over the head of McKnight. Foul's going to be called there on Randy Flint. And it's 9:40, and I see a bunch of second or third graders, I'd like to say, getting ready to play a game at halftime, and they might have the most energy in this gym.
Yeah,
over there,
definitely.
Jumping around.
You should
First free throw is good.
Everyone watching, you should have heard them during the girls' championship game between Rockbridge and Kickapoo. They
probably could hear them.
Honestly, probably did. They were
our
screaming.
mics were on. They were sitting right behind us screaming, Ryan. His first free throw is good as it's 19-21.
I can confidently say they have more energy than I do right about now.
Totally agree with you, Ryan. You couldn't have said it better. McKnight to Vincent, as I didn't even realize Vincent checked in. Now Foster. Here's McKnight coming off the screen, driving baseline. Foul's going to be called.
And as far as I can recall, I think I can only recall one time where Blancett had a lineup where there wasn't a senior in, and that was last night. I don't remember from Wednesday night, but for the most part, Blancett always has at least one senior on the floor.
He still has Peters in currently.
And he's been out for, I think, almost this whole quarter.
Peters hopping around. He hits the ground hard. Foul's going to be called there on Vincent as Akbar was driving baseline. I think Josh has played the whole quarter. I don't think Garrett has played. And they've went a very younger, faster lineup. And right now I see a lot of guys who are some of the better defensive players on this team. As Flint's jumping through screens as he soars through the air there. And Derman's three-pointer no good. Peters with the rebound. As Flint showing off the handles, gets it to Vincent. Vincent hesitates. 15-footer coming from Peters, and he knocks it down.
Such a pretty mid-range jump shot right there. Went straight up with it. Absolutely textbook.
And a great find there by Vincent to get in the hands. See the freshman McKnight picking on Willems. He pokes that one free. He's playing very aggressive defense as he catches the arm. That's McKnight's second foul. So now Meltebarger's going to go to the table and check in. Out comes McKnight. As Willem has seen 4 guys so far tonight guard him.
And I mean, if
the
you're
Eagles
not
have been
Cantwell,
in this kind of man, they've been going between a man and a 2-3.
And if you're not Cantwell, guarding Willems not got to be fun whatsoever, especially if your name's Lane Meltebarger right now.
The thing that helped Lane, I think, the most is his three-pointer there. No good is football and him going up against some of the top DNs in the area with, I mean, that H-back position is a very tough position. I think that has definitely helped his basketball game in the paint with being aggressive.
Yes, it has. I mean,
because
the Eagles all year use their tight ends really just as extra offensive linemen.
Because being a part of that trench gang is not easy at all.
It's not for the faint of heart.
And fans, stay tuned as we're going to have Parker Mann go do some halftime interviews as the Eagles regain the lead there with the Josh Peters lay off the glass.
Coaches? No, just
Bar.
he won't talk to us. He won't. He's a former Kickapoo guy. Oh, okay.
Here,
Yeah, let's go get Aiden.
up top, Willem loses control of the basketball, taken away there by Flint. Flint now on a fast break, soaring through the air, off the glass, no good. Peters hopping through the lane, and he finishes. He hits the ground hard as Willem smoked him.
Bentonville going to let to hold on.
Hold in.
I would assume hold on for the last shot here. Down 3, a big buzzer beater can tie the game, but what a competitive game of basketball this has been.
Hopping through the lane, Duda, and foul's going to be called there as Meltebarger was more straight up and down. His foul will be called.
I don't know how.
Coach Blancett is, like we said, is still in utter disbelief.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that foul call. Unfortunately, we're not at Nixa, so we won't have a replay to look back at it, but I don't know how I feel about that. I think that was, I mean, he was straight up with it, did everything that they tell you to do, and they still call a foul. So not really anything you can do if you're Lane Meltebarger on that play. There's only 30 seconds. Not like it matters too much, but Bentonville does go into the bonus. Nixa at 5, and Bentonville with 4 fouls.
Second free throw will not go. And to bring it up here is Vincent. Gets into the hands, Meltebarger. Meltebarger, Foster. Peters coming off the screen, now Flint. 11 seconds left to play, the Eagles lead 25-23. Here's Peters. Akbar guarded tightly, 6 seconds to play. Vincent now, 3. Three-pointer from Peters at the buzzer, no good. Vincent at the buzzer. No good, as they say, it doesn't count. And we'll be right back as we're going to send it down to Parker Mann for a quick halftime word with the coach, Brock Blansett.
I'm here with Coach Blansett. Coach, this has been a tight first half, going both ways, back and forth. What are your thoughts on that?
We expect it to be a close game. I'm sure it'll go back and forth all the way to the end.
What are you going to say to your team into the locker room going into the second half?
I think our effort's good. I think we're getting good shots. I really don't have a lot of complaints. I mean, it's going to be close either way. It's going to come down to who makes a shot at the end.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
And we are back here down courtside with the former voice of Nixa Eagles football and now student at Arkansas University and media, I guess, director or whatever. You run the media at Bentonville.
Yeah, I'm just their social media guy right now for Bentonville. But, yeah, I've been working down at Arkansas, working for their broadcast, learning the ins and the outs, you know. Not the voice like normal, but learning the ins and the outs, you know, because I didn't do it here because had other plans. But, yeah,
So, like, how's it been from transferring from being the voice and now just being kind of the guy behind the scenes and not really, like, you know, like not having that spotlight on you?
You know, I mean, it wasn't really a big adjustment. I mean, you're going to college, you're not really anybody anyways. Like, it's a whole different ball game. But, yeah, I'm just having fun running replays and working cameras, being on the court, just being really more involved with the game than just being a student, just watching, you know, like a fan.
Now, tell us what you do with Bentonville and kind of how you got in with Bentonville.
Yeah, so, yeah, I've been working with Bentonville since about the beginning of the season. Made their hype video and stuff, and really just kind of been doing what I was doing at Nixa here, but for a little more money. But just an actual gig, you know, an actual job. It's actually nice. Yeah, just run their social media, I guess, is what I'm doing, making graphics, making videos, just going to the games.
All right, thank you, Nate. Hope you have a great night tonight. And
yeah, it was a long drive, but
yeah. How long was the drive?
Only 2.5 hours, but
it's not.
Got to run it back tomorrow morning. So.
All right, thank you, Nate. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Good to see you, Brad.
Good to see you. And we are back for a little talk with Jordan Burns, our technical producer, as Ryan's still not here. Just like, that's 2 nights in a row, Burns.
I know, 2 nights in a row. You guys have to listen to me. How about that?
Oh,
But hey, we've had an exciting game tonight.
Oh,
My goodness.
so
There have been more blocks than I've ever seen, and it's not like just slappy blocks where they're hitting each other on the arms and the referees aren't calling it. There have been pretty clean blocks for the most part.
Bentonville might be one of the most athletic teams we'll see all year. I mean, it's crazy. 1 through 5 all are probably above 6'1" and can jump through the roof.
Yeah, there's some big boys out here tonight.
And with the Eagles having a little size disadvantage, I think they've done a great job of controlling the game.
Yep, I agree. Guards have been great, being real active, handsy, and getting steals. And, I mean, almost zigging and zagging through some of these big bodies we have out there. It's been fun to watch.
The 2-3 zone has really also been helping the Eagles a lot. I mean, yeah, it's been leaving that corner open a little bit for Durham at some times, but the Eagles' defense has definitely kept themselves in this game. I mean, they lead by 2, but this could be a completely different game if this defense wasn't playing as well as they are.
It's been, like I said, it's been a great game, up and down. Referees are probably tired after a double overtime girls game before, and now a very quick back and forth boys game.
You know, it's a great game when the head coach gets a warning the first quarter of the game. I mean,
yeah, well, if you've been around South Missouri basketball very long, you know Coach Rippey from Kickapoo. And he was very animated and aggressive back in the day when he was at Kickapoo. So
and he still is very animated and aggressive.
Most of these referees, I think they've probably refereed around when he was down at Kickapoo. So anyway, they're no stranger to Coach Rippey, and a great guy. But yeah, he's pretty vocal most of the time.
And now we do have my color commentator, Ryan Swanson, standing here.
It's all right. We don't need
him. But we don't need Ryan.
We don't need him. No,
and we're going to continue the rest of the broadcast tonight, Ryan.
Yep.
It'll be all good. We got 1:09 until the start of the third quarter. The Eagles look to take their second straight Willard Basketball Classic championship, as it really was a question with how this team was going to perform this year, losing one of the best players in the state in Cale Combs and losing key pieces like Noah Engelman and Corey Kemp, who were all starters for the Eagles. But these young guys have really filled in well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you remember the JV season last year, I mean, it wasn't even competitive. And so we knew this team was still going to be good, even though they did lose a couple of those key missing parts. But, I mean, they've got a lot of depth this year, and a lot of different people they can take off that bench and put in a spot, and it's not going to change the level of play. And so it's been pretty fun. Before I get off here, I want to give a shout-out to old Parker Mann there. He was our sideline reporter.
And then, of course, old Nate Purrier down there by the hoop, who
we got Nate
got an
Purrier,
interview.
yeah.
We got the whole shebang
that's
tonight.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, all right, Ryan,
and
I guess
have
it's your
Colin
time.
Kelly sitting down
Oh,
next
boy.
to us. And here's Willem at the top of the key, hands it off. Willem cutting through the lane, goes up and gets it over the head of Jackson Cantwell. I don't know how he did, but he finishes.
I can understand how it's the only time when I leave is inside you go back live.
Burns wanted to go live. The 15-footer from Hines, no good. And the sophomore can't finish, but luckily McKnight's fading away, and one out of McKnight.
What a bucket. Through contact, fading away. Great putback by Adam McKnight.
McKnight at the line for the and one, and he converts on it. It's point number 6 for Adam. Here's Williams, looks inside Willem. Posted up on Cantwell, gets back up top, three-pointer is no good. That was fired there by Duda. Now the senior guard Kemp to bring it up, gets to Peters. Now McKnight, driving baseline, looking for anybody, finds Cantwell. Peters, cutting, can't finish. He falls down there and he's now limping as he kind of, I think he fell on his shin there a little weird.
Hoping he's all right.
And Willem putting up into Peters. Can't finish, but they'll send Willem to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, anytime you jump and the guy pump fakes and goes right back up with it when you're in the air, it's going to be a foul 99% of the time.
It's awful scary. I mean, it's having someone in the air, especially the size of Peters and how high he got up, and then Willem putting his weight into Peters. It never ends well, but luckily they both got down safely.
Sometimes it doesn't end well. Most of the time it might just be a hard fall or the guy just bumps, does a little bit of a Trae Young, just maybe leans into him a bit, then falls back and tries to get milk a foul.
And Willem goes 0 for 2 there at the line. Now Kemp hands it off Peters. The Eagles have a 3-point lead. Peters to Kemp. Kemp inside Cantwell. Back to Kemp in the corner. His three-pointer's blocked. Grabbed there by McKnight. The reverse lay is good. From the freshman Adam McKnight, he has 8. His career high so far was game number 1 against, I forgot who we played game number 1.
Hold on. Nope. Give me a moment.
Against Bolivar. Was 10 points. Now he has 8 in quarter number 3. Layup no good. Willem palms it, but he throws it back into the ground. Now Kemp's moving fast up court, looking to go coast to coast. Splits 2 defenders. And Akbar sends it off the wall.
An emphatic rejection by Akbar right there. Great drive in by Kemp. Almost had a very pretty finish at the basket. But that ball would have been swatted into the third row if it went towards the stands.
And blaze it off the glasses, Peters.
And the Eagles have done a really great job of getting inside the paint in the later stages of the second quarter and now at the start of the third.
And Willem can't go. Rebound there by Cantwell.
The Eagles trying to generate most of their offense from inside, and that opens up the three-point shot later.
Three-pointer coming from Peters, no good. Fighting for the rebound is Kemp. And they're going to say it's going to the Tigers, and Blancett saying no way. He can't believe it.
Blancett can't believe it. The student section can't believe it. The Nixa fans who were right there couldn't believe it. I'm shocked that went Bentonville's way.
It's a great hustle play there by Kemp. Kabar hands it off. Here's Williams. Williams guarded tightly by Kemp. Driving through the lane, shoves off hard there. No foul called. This will be Cantwell getting the rebound.
Might be
now Kemp across court here, near wing for Peters. His three-pointer gets stuck. McKnight struggling to get it out.
Third time's a charm. You got it. There
we go. It's going to be considered a jump ball, and it will stay with the Eagles. Cantwell inside, fading away from Willem. He'll grab the board there.
And McKnight's done a really good job this game, doing the work down low. He's been getting a bunch of boards and second chance opportunities for this Eagles team. He's just found open shots. He's got 8, playing a great game inside.
Three-pointer, Willem is good off the glass. Wow, banks that one in.
Homie showed his best Tim Duncan impression right there off the glass, Mr. Fundamentals.
It's the best Brady Reto impression right there. Only hit threes off the backboard. Here's Kemp, finds McKnight. Near wing, McKnight's cutting through the lane. Back Kemp, driving to the block, and one, Devin Kemp.
A little bit of a stare down at the end of that. What a drive and a finish by Devin Kemp. And I believe that is his most dangerous when he has a hole and drives into the lane.
And the third foul called on Javen Williams here. And he doesn't know how it's on him. But he's the only one arguing it. And Kemp at the line looking to convert the and one. He will not. Rebound's going to be grabbed there by a Kabar. And McKnight takes that one away, but he'll throw it back into the hands of Duda. What a play there by McKnight, and almost a really good play if he doesn't catch it. Durham, and foul's going to be called there on Peters. A little touchy foul, but they've been really calling it all night. Has been that.
A lot of foul calls in this game, a lot more than usual.
I think it's more of trying to keep the game. I mean, there's 4 in this quarter so far. 3-pointer from Williams, and he drains it.
I mean, with that, each team, or at least there's at least one team in the first 2 quarters that got into the bonus.
Flint can't finish on the grass. McKnight grabs the board, and he puts it up for 2. He hits 10 points.
There he is again. Bentonville's got to find a way to box him out because he's getting a ton of second chance points by just cleaning up rebounds down low. And he's not even grabbing them straight up. He's tipping them out of the hands of Willem and just picking up the scraps.
Thurman in the corner for 3, no good. Rebound, McKnight.
He's got to have at least over 10 by the time this game's over the way he's playing. Could get himself a double-double by the night's over.
He might have a double-double already. Meltebarger coming off a Flint screen, gives it to McKnight one more time. Kevon Flint.
I'm going to have to go check with the stat keeper at the end of this and make sure.
Fade away. Jay is good. Josh Peters.
It's such a pretty jump shot when you drill it. It is so pretty when you make that jump shot. And him and Garrett Hines both can make that jump shot when they need to.
Willem posted up there on Meltebarger. 3-pointer. Akbar, no good.
Great closeout D right there from Flint.
And up court was Kemp to Flint. Flint in the corner to Kemp. His 3-pointer rolls in and out as McKnight's hit the ground hard. He's grabbing his head. And Willem's grabbing his leg, and Meltebarger's slow to get up. As he's now itching his head. Not a great look as we saw a big collision there.
And Willem is still down, grabbing that right leg.
McKnight's grabbing his head as he's trying to slowly walk this one off. But it looks like Willem is going to take the majority of the damage on this one. With 2:17 left, it's 38-31. The Eagles lead. It's 10:05 as tip-off was supposed to start at 7:30. It didn't start till about 9:08-ish.
Although, while they're checking Willem out, we're going to take a moment and we're going to step aside.
Actually, no, we're going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors real quick as we have time.
Never mind, he's up.
Central Gas and Propane, Wise Guys Screen Printing, Scooters Coffee, and if you have not subscribed yet to our Nixa Athletic Update on the Nixa Public Schools app, please do. And then, of course, you can find all the information about Nixa Athletics you want, courtesy of Alex Stein, on Nixa Athletics Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. As the Tigers are going to find themselves back on the court, and so are the Eagles. Meltebarger will stay, but McKnight's going to check out. In comes Foster.
And Willem able to walk off on his own 2 feet, not needing any assistance walking off.
Willem checks out for the first time of the night. Not. Hands it off Williams. Williams guarded by Flint. Looks inside. Duda spinning through. Can't finish, but the foul's going to be called there on Lane Meltebarger. That's going to be his 3rd.
That's the second time tonight where Lane's just gone straight up with 2 hands. They've called a foul. Both times he was guarding Duda. So,
and we're going to see McKnight go back to the scores table. Good to see him doing well. Free throw is good.
You know, it's one thing that the Eagles did a lot last year. They haven't done much this year that they're starting to do, is they would always take a combination of Josh,
okay, go ahead.
Peters and Garrett Hines, or even sometimes a couple of other guys just down in the corner just sitting there. Kind of interested in the reason why. I mean, I know they're both not on the floor right now, but even when they both are, he hasn't been doing it.
McKnight to Peters.
Kind of interested
back to
in the
McKnight.
reason.
McKnight now driving baseline, fading away. Push is going to be called there on Duda, and that's going to be his 2nd personal. 13.
Again, a lot of fouls.
The bonus has yet to be found yet.
No, the bonus, I think Bentonville had the bonus in each of the first 2 quarters.
Did they? I thought they were just both at 4.
No, because I remember Second
yeah,
quarter, they
did
got
have
with
it.
like 30 seconds left. I'm pretty sure they got in the first quarter, but don't quote me on that.
Here's Randy Flint in the corner. Gets it across court to his older brother, Kevon Flint, back to Randy Flint. Flint to Peters. Foul will be called there on Derman.
That's going to be his third for Derman on the night.
Here's McKnight posted up. Goes in, can't finish, but fighting for the rebound will be Foster. Foul's going to be called.
And now Willem's back to the scorer's table and getting ready to check in.
Willem will check in.
Good to see he's up. Probably just got banged up a little bit on that play. Good to see him back.
Now, Javen Williams to bring it up, hands it off Derman. Derman back to Williams, his three-pointer, he pulls the trigger. Nothing but net Javen Williams. And now it's a two-point game. The Eagles still lead. Here's Foster, near corner, Flint. Now Foster back Flint. Top of the key, McKnight. Drives in, back out Flint. 39 seconds left. The Eagles will most likely use all this time. Take that back. McKnight's three-pointer won't go. Fighting for it will be Flint.
And now out comes Wyatt Vincent as he checks in for Josh Peters.
Getting Josh a little time to rest before the final period. It's 38-36, and Coach Blankston wasn't very happy there with the decision of McKnight to take the three-pointer.
Bentonville got a chance to take a lead if they knock down a three-point shot. Can tie it
Flint
with a
guarded
two.
Williams. 11 seconds left, driving through the lane. Williams hopping through, and one Javen Williams. With 8 seconds left on the clock, Williams gives the Tigers a chance to take the lead.
What a play. Through contact, driving in, left side. Absolutely great play to tie the game up, and now with a chance to take the lead.
His big toes down there putting in the work, cleaning up the sweat off the floor. And the biggest smile on the face of Nate Purrier watching him do it. You know, I've never seen that before. I've never seen the cameraman down the court start moving and cleaning the floor of sweat. That one is good, and the Tigers have a 1-point lead with 8 seconds left. Now Flint to bring it up. Flint, 15-footer, no good. Foster fading away, and it's good. Bryce Foster at the buzzer for the Eagles to take the lead. A big shot there from Foster, and the Eagles go into the fourth with the lead, 40-39.
Kind of in the story here for Bentonville in that third quarter. Who's getting the rebound? Who's boxing out? That entire third quarter, especially with Adam McKnight, there's no boxing out, no one's grabbing rebounds, and all these second chance points for the Eagles, and they are hurting this Bentonville Tigers team bad.
40-39 is your score. We'll be back after this short break, brought to you by Central Gas and Propane. And we are back here. Will be Tigers basketball. Three-pointer is off. Fighting for the rebound will be Vincent, and he gets it up. Now pushing up court, here's Kemp. Kemp to Peters. Peters now pulls it back out. Three-pointer from Kemp won't go, it falls short. So Vincent tried to steal that one back. The Eagles seem like they're starting to force shots more than finding the open shot. And Willem finds the rebound, he'll put it up for 2.
And his presence was missed down low for a couple of minutes. And right there, great job picking up second chance points.
41-40.
Off the Javen Williams drive.
Here's Hines. Hines to Peters. Back to Hines. Kemp coming out the screen, top of the key, three-pointer. Josh Peters, no good. Willem pulls the board down. The Eagles have a 36-game win streak in the regular season riding on. The last dated regular season loss was the NIT championship game back in the Ruffin era, and Jay Osborne, as they fell to Blair Oaks. Foul's going to be called there on Jackson Cantwell.
Only Cantwell's first of the night. Still has yet to find the scorecard in this game. Really just been a presence down low, getting rebounds against Elijah William.
Ripping through off the glass, no good. That was Duda. Grabbing the board will be Garrett Hines. Vincent for 3 in the corner, no good. Fighting for the rebound, Cantwell back out, Peters. Peters finds Vincent one more time. His second three-pointer still won't go. Foul's gonna be called there on Jackson Cantwell.
Those are 2 3-point shots in the corner. That second one was wide open for Vincent. You gotta drain those.
And he really, that's a shot he usually hits. I mean, we saw all last year in his JV season, he did not miss in the corner.
No, he did not.
I think there was a game where he had close to 30 points basically off of sitting in the corner and hitting three-pointers.
Hey, everyone has their off nights.
And spinning through the lane is Javen Williams for an easy 2. And we're going to see McKnight head back to the scores table, who's been really the key for this Eagles team so far tonight, as he's having one of his better nights. Peters now gets it to Kemp. Coming off the screen, Hines. Back out Peters. Kemp. Rolling through the lane, and he finishes. Timeout, Nixa Eagles. Will be a full timeout.
And if you aren't able to get a hand on the ball when Devin Kemp drives into the lane, you might as well just chalk up the 2 points. I mean, he has such a pretty touch around the rim. Great play by Devin Kemp to make it to a 1-point game.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it a lot from Kemp last year when he got his opportunities to run the one roll when Combs wasn't out there. He really showed true leadership, and now I can debate he's kind of been forcing some things left and right, but when he's not forcing them and just really playing aggressive through the paint, he's finishing well.
And at the start of this fourth quarter, you said forcing shots. That's what the Eagles have been doing a little bit. And why Vincent had a shot that was forced that he probably shouldn't have taken. You just had Devin Kemp's had a couple, so these couple of forced shots, I get it. The first open look is there, but you got 5:36. If you can get a more open shot, take it. But at the same time, you don't want to hold the ball too long and have to put something up that isn't as good as a shot.
I wouldn't be shocked if we see Kevon Flint sometime come in off the bench, just start seeing more of a defensive role, even though he adds to that offensive aspect to keep this Bentonville team from scoring as much as they are in these last 2 quarters. 5:36, 43-42.
And I know they've already been playing in as the start of the fourth quarter, but I think this is the first time we've seen all 3 seniors on the floor since the start of the game.
It's the first time the starters have been back together. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound there, Cantwell. Here's Hines. He's going to hand
break
it off.
there. You got to fight through that screen. You can't give him that much time to set his feet and pull that 3-point shot.
Here's McKnight, back Kemp. Near corner. There's going to be a foul there on Derman, and I think it's time to give Adam McKnight an Oscar for that one.
And that also puts Derman at 4 fouls on the night. It's only one away from fouling out. One thing that's been different from Bentonville and Nixa is that Bentonville has been playing their starters the majority of the game. This team is very well conditioned. It's been relatively the same guys all night.
Fading away, Josh Peters, and the Eagles regain the lead. Like we said, Durman, now with 4, that's one of the bigger three-point shooting threats on this team. Not a good look, especially in the late game. Traveling's going to be called there, and Rippey is not a fan of that call.
Rippey does have to be careful, though. He already did have a warning from the refs earlier. Slam the ball on the ground. He's got to be careful not to get thrown out.
Yeah, you know, you always see the player slamming the ball on the ground, never the coach. Burns says if it goes above the shoulder, it is a technical, even from the coach. Moving screen called there on Nick Knight, and that's going to be his 4th.
And that is the right call. It was a little bit of moving screen. He took a little step to the side during that.
And well, Bland sits in disbelief, and McKnight asked him what he did, and he said, I don't know. I'm looking at Bland, I've gotten pretty good at reading his lips, and his reactions are funny every time. They can't be beat. Is Blanch's on a moving screen there, lose control of the ball, taken away, but regained by Williams, left open in the corner for 3, and it's good, Javen Williams.
And Javen Williams, this corner, said, all right, I'll do it myself. He's been getting most of the points for this team in the 4th quarter.
He breaks the 20-point margin, the leading scorer of the night. Here's McKnight driving through the lane. He gets fouled hard as Willem blocks it, just puts a little too much of his weight into the body of McKnight. And McKnight has a chance to tie the game up.
And give it to McKnight. He's been getting banged up down low. He's been fighting down for the boards all night. And give it to the freshman. He has been fighting down there. And now has a chance to tie it up.
And it rolls in and out. And those are the stiff rims Burns talked about last night on the broadcast. He said he hated coaching and playing in this gym just because of how stiff the rims were.
Also could explain the shooting struggles for most of the teams while we've been here. I think it's going to change a lot when we go to Liberty North next week.
Second free throw will roll in. So now it's a 1-point game. As we really haven't seen that Eagles press that much. Last time we saw it was in quarter number 2. Durman hands it off. Now Willem, top wing. Now Williams. Looks back door, but it's going to be taken away. Now fighting forwards to the Eagles. And it's going to be a jump ball going to the Eagles. And they're going to want a timeout, but possession was never really attained when he was asking for the timeout.
Yeah, that was with the Eagles the whole time. And I do want to point out that Jackson Cantwell currently over with the trainer.
Looks like he's getting scraped. And Big Toe once again coming in clutch with the sweeper, and it looks like Cantwell's getting a shoulder scrape.
He was also doing some stuff on the wall. It looked like to be leg stretches going back to the bench. That's good for the Eagles. So they might put him in a defensive lineup if they have the lead late. Try and get a board and seal it.
And losing control of the basketball will be Kemp, but he calls tip. He said it was tip, but Kemp touched it again. I couldn't really tell, but because if it was the tip and Kemp didn't touch it again, it would be Eagles basketball. As the Tigers looking to break this press as they finally cross the timeline. Duda to do it, he hands it off. Javen Williams. Williams leading the team with 20 points. Right behind him is Willem with 11. He's driving through the lane, and he finishes, and it gives them a 3-point lead. Hines now back to Kemp. Kemp to McKnight. McKnight to Flint. Flint to Kemp now. Hines, his 3-pointer, no good. Fighting for the rebound is Kemp. He dishes in the corner. Flint's 3-pointer is good. It's all tied up. 48-48. Big play there by Kemp. finding Kevon Flynn in the corner for 3.
And once again, Bentonville not being able to pull down the rebound. Devin Kemp able to poke it free, get a second chance opportunity, find Flint in the corner. And this game is tied up with 2:29 left.
And this game has got my heart racing. I'm sure it got yours, and I'm sure it got literally everybody in this stadium.
I think we all remember what happened the last time the Eagles were in a tournament like this, and it was a late championship game.
Well,
that would have been the NIT against Troy.
The Eagles saw themselves down at that game about 20 points, I believe. And we'd like to, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our camera operators. First off, running wide shots, Wyatt Francis, and then down there on the floor, Aiden Perryman. Both came out, and we got 2 cameras tonight, and we got to sit courtside. Burns, I don't know what you're saying right now. 48-48 is your score. This timeout is brought to you by Night Heating and Air.
There you go.
And that's what he was wanting. The Eagles have.
See, the great thing about
Do we know how many timeouts the Eagles have left?
Nope, because they don't put them up on the scoreboard.
I think it should be 2. Because I think it's. I don't know what they're talking about right now. I think they're making both teams go back to their benches. I don't know why, though.
A little confused.
Oh, we have blood on the floor. Where is Big Toe at?
Oh, it's not on his end of the floor, I think.
If it was his end of the floor, I'd know he'd be out there in a heartbeat wiping it up.
I wonder if who the blood came from now. I'm kind of intrigued because Cantwell, I know he went over to the trainer, but he's been off for a while. I can see it.
I think McKnight's nose is bleeding right now.
I mean, hey, he's been getting banged up down there.
I mean, he's
in
been
the paint,
fighting for his life in the paint, and he's been really proving himself tonight of why he deserved to be a starter on this Eagles team, as he has 11 points. He does have 4 fouls, but quite a few boards coming from the freshman. He's really proving himself as why he deserves that 4 role.
And this is what we call a trial by fire here. He is learning all the ins and outs of what a varsity basketball game feels like.
And he's just, he's a competitor. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's all you can say is guys know how to compete, and he's one of them. Javen Williams to bring it up, guarded by Devin Kemp. Here's Derman. Looks inside. Willem posted up on McKnight. Puts a shoulder in him. Loses control of the basketball. Fighting for the rebound is Devin Kemp. He comes out with it. He pulls up with 2:10 left to play. Now finds Randy Flint. Randy to McKnight. McKnight to Kevon Flint. 2 minutes left to play. Looks like the Eagles are going to chew some clock here and set up a good offense.
See, I think he has space there. I think
a little hesitant, but it's probably not the best shot, as we talked about forcing shots. Now Randy Flint gets it to Kevon Flint. Now Devin Kemp. Kemp to Randy.
I think that also shows the experience, because if that's a Josh Peters or a Garrett Hines, that shot's getting
fade away, no good with 1:30. Timeout, Bentonville Tigers, and we're going to take a short break. This break is brought to you by Night Heating and Air. A minute 28 all tied up, 48 all. The Willard Basketball Classic Championship on the line is struggling to get the pass in there, but Williams is the man.
Williams has been the man this entire fourth quarter. Let's see if he can do it once again for this Tigers team.
Kemp's playing some pressed-up defense as we saw game number 1 of the two championships going to overtime between Rockbridge and Kickapoo in the girls' division. Williams driving through, spinning through the lane, and he gets it to roll in. Now we have 58 seconds left. Flint is going to push it up court.
Don't force this here. Get the best opportunity you have.
Timeout, Nixa Eagles, and I believe that's going to be their last one.
I think that was a good spot for a timeout, though. Blanton now has time to draw something up. Blanton's really mad that there wasn't a charge or a travel because one of the defenders was almost falling over earlier when he had the ball on the elbow.
And then quite a few steps were taken there by Williams. I mean, he was able to pull a spin move and step through. I don't really know how you can spin move and step through without taking more than 2 steps.
Only was watched a couple of LeBron highlights. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry if you think if you're a LeBron fan, but I think that's a little bit of a travel right there.
You know who's a big LeBron fan?
Who?
It's Wyatt Vincent. And he really makes me mad because I said Michael was the best.
He is?
And yes, that's my opinion. Michael's the best. And now all he sends me is like Instagram post about LeBron.
Hey, the only argument.
Okay, so the Eagles have 2 timeouts left. Bentonville has 3.
The only argument I ever need is what's Jordan's record in the finals again?
Yeah, I don't really
I don't
know.
care what you do in the regular season. If you ain't winning championships, you ain't in the GOAT discussion. I'm sorry.
Now the Eagles find themselves down by 2 and a big chance for the Eagles to show what type of team they are in, making a statement early in the season.
Granted, I am a little biased. I'm a Bulls fan, but we're not going to talk about that.
And here's Devin Kemp. Kemp to McKnight. McKnight driving baseline. Finds Peters. Foul's going to be called.
And so that's 3 fouls for each team with 36.7 left. The 3rd on the night for Duda.
Peters coming off the screen. Hands it off. Here's McKnight, 28 seconds left. Now Flint. Back to Kemp. Kemp driving in. Throws it off the top. And it should stay with the Eagles. And they're going to say it's going to the Tigers. This ref's going in. Coach Blanton is going crazy. And
you know
the
what?
Eagles fans are not happy.
I didn't have the greatest view of it because we're down here a little bit away from it, but it did look like Devin did throw the ball as he was trying to pull it in. So I could understand why that was the call, but then again, I didn't see it all the way. So
timeout, and the fans are not happy here in Willard.
Hey, you got 20 seconds. There's still a lot of time left. With the way this Eagles press runs, you either got to get a quick turnover, but if you can't, within the first 2 passes, you got to foul quick. A missed free throw, and it's still a 1-possession game.
And the whole Eagles bench is not very happy with that call. Blanchett's still asking about it. And someone in the stands has been chirping Nate all night long, and I've loved every bit of it. Still being discussed right now.
And Blanton just with a look of, I can't believe it.
So now I believe the Eagles will probably come out here in a press, and I think the one person you want the ball in the hands of if you're the Eagles is Willem. He's had a rough night at the line.
No, I mean, look, they're putting him at half court. They don't want the ball to get in his hands. He's only there as a safety valve knowing these 2 guys get open. Abby starts to scoot down.
And foul's going to be called there on Randy Flint. That's going to be the 4th team foul. He doesn't have Randy's fouls up there.
But currently, McKnight is at 4.
McKnight's at 4, so he has to be careful. Foul's going to be called there as very touchy. And I think he's thinking he's intentionally fouling because it really doesn't look like he's making much contact with him.
He's going to send Duda to the line with 8 tonight. That puts Bentonville in the bonus.
And the Eagles need at least one of them to miss. 18.3 seconds left.
Once again, with the new rule change, I feel like I need to say because we're in 5 fouls. There is no more 1-on-1. It is just 2 shots on the bonus.
Duda has done a very good job at the free throw line tonight, and he'll get the first one to go.
And now we're going to see Flint check out for Hines.
Hines, more of a sharp shooter.
And they're going to keep him back.
And it's a 3-point game. This free throw could make it 4, and it will. Timeout, Bentonville Tigers. He'll call a full timeout. 18.3 seconds left, and we'll take a short break brought to you by Night Heating and Air. Not 52-48, 18.3. The Eagles are going to need a quick basket and then a foul and hope to get a turnover. And now it's going to be McKnight to bring it up court. So he's going to drive in, lose control of the basketball, throws it off the feet of Willem. It's going to stay with the Eagles. 12.5 seconds left. Like we said, it's going to get the quick basket, quick foul. And
McKnight saved it. I'll say that. That was almost tragic for the Eagles.
Kemp three-pointer won't go, and it's going to be a foul called, but that will most likely do it. And after an 0-4 start for the Bentonville Tigers, they find themselves one game under 500. So they come up to Missouri and make a statement.
Really just found their stride at the start of this tournament. Hey,
and this team's going to be a team to watch.
Yes, they will.
First free throw is good.
Well, fortunately, we will not see them for the rest of the year. Down in Arkansas, we'll see what they do, but it's a 5-point game.
Of course,
6 seconds left.
We always have a connection down there to see how they're doing. Second free throw is good. Now it's going to be a 6-point game. 6 seconds left, and Flint's going to have to get down there fast. And shots blocked at the buzzer. Three-pointer, no good. And the Bentonville Tigers are the Willard Basketball Classic champions, and the Eagles get their first loss for the first time since 2022. It would have been the NIT to Blair Oaks, and that was the 21-22 season. So we had the 22-23 season in the beginning of this season, and Coach Blanchett receives his first regular season loss, and this is going to be a hard one to
swallow. Yes, it is. But, I mean, that
I wasn't able to finish that there.
You're good, but, I mean, I know that the NIT, that is a tournament game, but it was also at home. So I wonder when was the last time this Eagles team lost on the road. I'm going to try and find that real quick, but the service in here is a little spotty.
It's been a while, but it's just going to be it probably was Kickapoo 2020 to 2021. But a very, very hard pill to swallow for the Eagles and Coach Blanchett. But, you know, you win some, you lose some, and you learn on how to get better. And this is going to be a great learning experience for the Eagles as they take second and cannot be named the reigning two-time Willard Basketball Classic champions.
So the last time the Eagles lost a game that was that wasn't in their building was January 13th against Milton in the Tournament of Champions.
And that was the heartbreaking loss where Bruce Thornton, it was the UNC play, or the Villanova play, comes up, hands it back. Bruce Thornton said, "This is my gym," from the logo, and drills it. And now he's out here having top 10 wins with Ohio State when he's dropping 28 points a game. That was the last time the Eagles, and that was also a tournament. I got to find out this regular season, these non-tournament games.
I'm going to try and take a look at that real quick.
54-48 was your score as Ryan's looking this up real quick.
Maybe.
Maybe, if not.
The service is a little spotty in here. The last time they lost was that was a home game. When?
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. We'll have that for
we'll
the next
figure
game.
that out when we head up to Liberty, and that will be Tuesday. We play at 8:30 in Liberty. I don't know who we. I know. I mean,
late
it's,
nights, dude.
What time is it?
10:38.
10:38 today. I mean, that's just tragic. It was a late night. I mean, there was a bunch of overtimes. You have Kickapoo and Parkview going to overtime. You have Kickapoo and Rockbridge going to overtime, and it was just a long night. 54-48 is your score. Ryan, you got anything else?
I got nothing.
And we will see you up north in Liberty. I'm Brady Return alongside my partner,
Ryan Swanson.
signing off.